Welcome everybody to the dedication of the George Brendler soccer field. My name is Kevin Mulligan and I am the superintendent of schools here at Chazy. But believe me, I have inherited this. It's one of the few things in my life that I've ever inherited, and I'm very appreciative of all the work and effort that has been put into this field, the construction of this field, etc., by the people that worked on it for the last several years to make this all possible. Without any further ado, I'd like to have Mr. George Brendler come out onto the field, as well as Mr. Joe Dumoulin, the girls varsity soccer coach, Mr. Rob McAuliffe, the boys varsity soccer coach, and Mr. Brian Norcross, the athletic director. They could come out on the field at this time. I'm going to turn the microphone over at this time to Mr. Rob McAuliffe, who would like to give a number of thank yous for the construction and the project of this soccer field. Rob?
Thank you. Let's go through the list very quickly. There were so many people, big and small, involved in this whole field. There was not one person or a small group of people who put this whole field together. I just want to go through the list kind of quickly. I can't go into all the things that these people did, but I'd like to mention their names. Eric Lewis, the Chazy School Board, Trey Green and the Chazy Orchard, Matt Devins, Amy Ivy, Roger Gay and family, Bill Dupree, Drew's Poultry, Roger, Craig and Willie Drew, Brian Norcross, Joe Colomb, Terry Lapierre, Matt Devins, the Athletic Association, which Kathy Ryan, Pat Seymour, Amy Seymour, the Lions Club, Jeff and Renee Green, Steve Perry, Tim Collins, Chazy Hardware, Jefford Steele, Curtis, Nathan McKinney, Jim West, some of the boys in the soccer team who spent many days out here with me, Jacob and Jordan Spiegel, Justin Seymour, Kenny Boyer, also Tom Trombley, Dan Vesco, Rick Trombley, and a few others, and of course Kevin Mulligan. A few others I wanted to mention were Derek Seymour, who has been an unbelievable help to this field. Derek's been working at school for the last year or two, has been unbelievable help. And the other person I want to mention is Jerry Blair. Jerry Blair, that's right, you can do that. As much as I wanted this field, and we all wanted, the community all wanted this field, Jerry Blair was the man who made this happen. When he came on board, I talked to him about the possibility of this happening, and he just took it over. We would not be standing here today on this beautiful field with all we had if it wasn't for Jerry Blair. This guy was out here taking soil samples and sending them away to make sure we had the right fertilizer and seed. You know, for years and years, this field will be known as George Brendler Field, but I also, for years and years, we should always remember what Jerry Blair did for this community. He's no longer the superintendent here, but Jerry, we will not forget what you did for this community, and I thank you, and we all thank you for what you did. And last, you know, it is supposed to be named George Brendler Soccer Field, and that's great. But the things that Coach taught us, as we know, I see some guys up there who played for him, the soccer was secondary. The soccer was great, he taught us a lot about soccer, but the one thing that he taught us to be good men. And in the grand scheme of things, soccer is a great sport, and we all love it, but he taught us a lot more things that were a lot more important in our lives than how to kick a soccer ball. And when we're 34, when we're 64, I will always remember, and people who played for him will always remember this, how he made us better people. And soccer was just the way that how he made us to become better men. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. One other story to share concerning Rob McAuliffe is Kristen McAuliffe in the crowd. She needs a big round of applause because Rob McAuliffe got the name this summer of being the water boy. We had a very dry, warm, beautiful summer, but from 7 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, Rob McAuliffe, every 2 hours, was coming to the field to change the one sprinkler to keep the field watered in the condition that it's in. And not only for Rob, but Kristen McAuliffe, who is with child at this point in time, well with child, allowed him to leave the house every 2 hours to go water the field. So congratulations to the water boy and to Mrs. Water Boy. And now for the dedication, Mr. Brian Norcross.
I have a couple plaques tonight. First of all, before I get to that, I would like to, again, it's already been said, but thank Mr. Blair for everything he has done. And also, Mr. McAuliffe, again, Mr. Morgan just thanked him, but put in a lot of time and worked very hard to bring this field to Chazy. So I know it's been said, but thank you again, Mr. Blair and Mr. McAuliffe, for this field. The Athletic Association, I will read the nice plaque that will be given to Coach Brendler. Presented to George Brendler, in appreciation for all that you have given the soccer program at CCRS, the Chazy Athletic Association, along with the players past and present, would like to say thank you. Your tireless dedication and devotion to Chazy Soccer for over 3 decades created the foundation for the program's great success in the past, present, and future. The school's reputation as a soccer dynasty was established in large part thanks to you and the program you created. You left an incredible mark on soccer here at Chazy as well as throughout the region. Your name will always be synonymous with Chazy Soccer. Thank you, Coach Brendler.
That's a lot of writing for a little plaque.
And also we have presented to George Brendler, CCRS coach and educator, 1965 to 1988. On behalf of the CCRS school community, Superintendent Kevin Mulligan, and the members of the Board of Education, we dedicate this soccer field in honor of George Brendler. And from this day, October 1st, 2005, it should be known as the George Brendler Soccer Field.
All right, no longer is it the future site of the George Brendler Soccer Field. It's welcome to George Brendler Field, dedicated October 1st, 2005, and there we go. There is George Brendler. There is his banner, and this is his field. An appropriate picture will be in the Press Republican. And also in Nancy Vesco's parlor.
And the last thing I have, Mr. Mulligan talked about Mr. McAuliffe's wife, and it goes without saying, if you coach, that the only reason you are able to coach is because you have a very good wife or husband at home. And for Mrs. Brendler, I can't imagine all the years of what you have put up with.
Very well spoken. Janet's the real hero here.
When I moved into Chazy, it wasn't enough that, you know, I moved into a great sports program and a great soccer program, but I also had the luxury of moving across the street from Coach Brendler. So it is nice. He's a great neighbor. I consider him a good friend, but he does yell at me when my lawn is not mowed correctly. And if he has an issue, he comes over and tells me about it. I'm just joking. Coach Brendler, I consider a good neighbor and a good friend. And I would like to have Coach Brendler present these to his wife, Janet.
All right. When's the last time George gave Janet flowers, huh? There she is. Brendler.
Without further ado, I'd like to turn over the mic to Coach Brendler.
Susan, Coach Brendler will be shortly after me. I'd like to introduce Coach Brendler. He didn't practice this last night, so. George Brendler began his soccer coaching career in 1965 with a 1-6 record. After that year, he never looked back. In the next 22 years, he would coach 12 championship teams. He would have 245 wins, 58 losses, 18 ties. The 1981 and 1984 teams would make it to the state semifinals. Way back in 1976, I had the unfortunate circumstance of coaching against Coach Brendler, and one of his victories that year, I was coaching at MAI at that time. He beat us 3-1 in 1976, and he gave me. He was kind to us that year. It probably could have been 10-1, but Coach Brendler was awful. He taught me a lot about soccer in my one and only year coaching soccer that year. George Brendler did not coach soccer. He developed a soccer program here at Chazy. The youth soccer program, which we saw the first half of the girls' soccer game, and we'll see at the second half with the boys' soccer team, started in 1980 with only 2 teams. The encouragement and support of George Brendler is due to the success of that program today. Thank you, George, for putting Chazy on the soccer map for New York State and certainly for the North Country. Mr. George Brendler.
Very appropriate that this is all being done, and the boys are state champions.
Kevin, Coach Mark. It's been a long time ago. By the way, I'm so awed that I'm speechless. So, thank you.
Right.
I would not leave you without a few words. It just wouldn't be proper after all those long lectures I used to give. It's a beautiful evening, a nice Saturday evening to be here, and I'll say that literally. I am glad to be here. I really wanted to make sure that I would be here so that you didn't name this field the George Brendler Memorial Field. I'm so glad that gentlemen have presented my wife with some flowers. We have been working through something, all kinds of times, good and bad, for almost 50 years with my wife at my side, and her support was very, very instrumental in my success here. I'm sure I might not be out here if I hadn't had that success or support because of all those times that I spent away from home. And she was very understanding. I also have to include in that support my family. My 4 children who grew up here in Chazy. I was fortunate to have children that worked hard, were good students. They did their chores and they stayed out of trouble, and as a result I had minimal problems at home, and I could pay more attention to my job here. And I would, as I say, I would not be standing out here if I hadn't had that kind of support. Elizabeth, my daughter, they're all postgraduates of Chazy. She was the captain of the 83 girls team, and I think she was on Miss Bayshard's first girls basketball team. Steve was class of 82. He was on probably my strongest, I hate to pick anyone, but my 81 team, my strongest team, instrumental player on that team, and he's also managed to be in the Honor Society at the same time. And I pushed that because I've always felt very, very strong about it, being a good student besides being a good player. John, our son, John was class of 81. He was captain of, or one of the captains of the 80 team that started playing in the NVAC. And Joe, he was the class of 80. He was captain for both his junior and senior year, and also member of the Honor Society and the graduation speaker. All to point out that you can be a good student and still take part and be a successful athlete. And so I'm very proud of their support and making me proud of them and this community. I really have to thank all of you for coming, all the alumni and everyone else. I especially have to include the alumni that came for the alumni weekend and thought they were coming for this ceremony. I feel kind of bad because a lot of them thought they were here for that occasion and they can't come back. Some others, included with these people, have expressed their disappointment that they can't be here, so they are here in spirit and wishing me well. And Rob already alluded to all the people that have helped. I saw them out here this summer. A lot of you alumni that have put a lot of time in here, people you sometimes might not think would go to that much trouble to take time from their own family to make this a field that is playable at this time. I really think that the man of the hour and the new icon, Rob McCauley, is a man that we really have to give a great deal of thanks to, because this idea of the field was really his going back, a vision, going back 5-6 years. He started talking about it and then finally did the footwork, the leg work, and got the thing going, and it has become a reality. I agree, he could not have done that without Jerry Blair's knowledge of keeping the records, whatever, and the board that supported him. You need to have a forward-looking board, which for members of the board who are here, most of you that have been involved in this, thank you for doing that, and of course the voters for looking ahead and okaying this bond issue. I'm honored that I have my name associated with this field and with the Chazy Soccer dynasty. I really feel that it's just gratifying that you alumni, people out of all those teams of the past, should pick me and or at least my name to represent those good memories and those positive experiences you had here in Chazy and at your soccer program in Chazy. But really, this is your field. It's you here. You started winning and started the tradition and continued the tradition today. So this field really represents you players from my team, the boys team, that era that I coached, and those pioneers from the 50s. This field represents some people we don't think often. Those unsung heroes from my day, the soccer cheerleaders, all those gals that didn't have sports those days. And there are quite a few of you here, I'm sure. And this field represents the girls team from those great winning years of Judy Bayshard back there in the 80s. This field represents all the girls and boys teams that have come since Judy and I have stepped out of coaching to the present and have taken over and raised the skills and the level of sports and taken us farther to the state level. So I'm saying that my name may someday be out here on this sign, but it's because of all of your efforts and your dedication and your sportsmanship, which was another big thing that I've always emphasized, and your scholarship, keeping eligible, working hard, preparing yourself for the rest of your life. So you I'd say youngsters of these previous teams of years ago, now mothers and fathers of these players and the future players, we're here. You're the one who made this possible. And I thank you. I appreciate the chance, or I really just can't say enough about the chance of having had the chance to teach you and to coach you. Thanks for the memories, and thank you all for sharing this day with me.
So George Brendler.
Okay, everybody, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be having the youth players as well as the varsity team, modified JV teams, anybody that is here today. We're going to form a semicircle. Unfortunately, we're going to be facing that way, so if anybody wants to take pictures, you're more than welcome to come onto the field over here. We're going to be facing towards the press box. Chazy Westport Telephone Company was gracious enough to bring a bucket truck, and we're going to have a panoramic picture with George Brendler in the center and all the kids around George Brendler. So it's going to take a little while to get this set up. Mr. Tregan, you're responsible for all the elementary students out there. Okay? Good luck, Mr. Tregan.
We have now adjourned to the press box. The players, the high school players, and the youth players are all gathering around.
Move them all that way. They can go right over the top of this way. You don't even see it.
Alright, we've lost track of George. In the back, we will hold up the banner, I would assume. There's George. Got to get him in front of the fifth graders so we can see him. Alright, that's the panoramic view. Obviously, when we get back that far, we can't see too many faces, so we're going to zoom in and get a little closer look at the folks out there. Welcome to George Brendler Field. It says October 1st, 2005, dedication day. We're missing a family wedding reception to be here. Former Chazy soccer player Lonnie Barrier, not Lonnie Bayshard. Lonnie Barrier married earlier today, and we went to the wedding but were unable to attend the reception due to the events here, so we're missing a family reception to be here for this, because there wasn't too much that could have gone on that would have stopped us from being here. This is too important to the community of Chazy and too important to our longtime friend George Brendler. He probably wishes this moment could go on for at least another 24 hours. As we were saying earlier, it's very appropriate that this happens in a year in which the Chazy boys are the defending New York State Class D champions. Very fitting and appropriate that all this takes place at this particular time. Well, there's the mass of humanity, the present and future of Chazy Soccer. You saw those kids out there. You know darn well you can get a team or two out of those in the future. And Coach Brendler gonna soak it in. He'll probably get a free hamburger at the concession stand too. As we said at his retirement party, which is probably a decade or so ago now, or even longer, I can't remember how long he's been gone, probably over a decade I think. As we said, at his retirement party, they were going to put up a life-size statue of George, but they were afraid that the students would trip over it. And George taking the victory run. All right. Oh, that's as far as he's going. A well-deserved honor, and his interest and expertise in soccer goes well beyond Chazy. He has inspired other communities to become more involved in soccer. A sportsmanship award presented by the officials every year, soccer officials, is named the George Brendler Sportsmanship Award. And I think that tells you everything you need to know right there. He's been a mover and shaker at the state level, and he helped bring Clinton County soccer to its current plateau, and he has been a force actually throughout the state, helping to foster the interest in soccer. And soccer has now become the in sport that's the fastest growing and some say most popular youth sport out there. And George Brendler knew its potential 40 years ago. So that'll be it. That'll wrap up Hometown Cable's coverage of the dedication of George Brendler Field, October 1st, 2005. Thanks for watching. And for those of you who support Hometown Cable, we support your community, and we sure wish your community would support Hometown Cable. Too many of you do not, and sit back there and think somebody else is, or mean to, and just never get around to doing it. But we're not here to take any of the light off George Brendler. It's very appropriate that it's done under the lights, because all the lights should be shining on George Brendler.